What's going on, guys? This is Weddings Made Perfect podcast. My name is Ty and I have Gabby here with me, and we're Weddings Made Perfect podcast. We're back. Are we back? Are we officially back?
I hope so.
No, I'm just joking.
We'll find out.
No, we are officially back, and we've been gone since what? July last year, August,
Something like that.
Yeah. So a lot of things happened. Just to say it like that, it's just a lot of things just happened, and we're back now officially, and
Joined by Tristan, who has not been properly introduced.
I was gonna get to him, but this is Tristan. Hi.
Thank you.
This is his first time on. Actually, we've been wanting to get him on. He's actually a contractor videographer, so he's gonna give some insight on shooting and stuff like that.
Well, I believe the last we left off, you were over here planning a wedding, and you're still in the process of that, correct?
Yes, I am currently still. We don't even have a date yet. We have a date next year potentially, but like, just a lot of things are just coming up, and we don't know what we want to do. And at this point, it probably won't even happen until like 2024, honestly, just to be blatantly honest. But yeah, it's just
There's no rush.
it's like not even like. We have to do all of it by ourselves. And that's honestly what's happening. And I decided to do some moves of my personal clients and stuff like that. And so the financial sense is not as strong as last year.
Sure.
So there's a lot of like, we got to just save more. And we were planning on moving to like an actual home. That's not happening anymore. There's a lot of just like personal financial things just are not working out.
Yeah, moving parts.
And so we have an idea. We have a place that we like so far in St. Louis, but it's just pulling the trigger, I guess you would say.
Oh, absolutely. And, I think there's a lot of people out there very similar to you in that sense, and just kind of, how can you not be nervous, especially when you're the one that has to pay for everything, that all everyone says is like how expensive weddings are, and that the costs add up, and like you can never we can sit here and talk about statistics on pricing and everything all day, but to really get down and be like, wow, what did that really cost? I'm sure it's always over what you assumed. Those little things you have to buy last minute or things you just don't think about. It's just that's the aspects that really makes me nervous.
We're lucky enough and fortunate enough to have people in the industry that are willing to help, and which is super cool. And like, honestly, would not be the same experience if this was kind of flip where we're newlyweds. If we were newlyweds, I guarantee you the wedding wouldn't happen until 2025, 2026. And that's just being realistic. But because we have such a strong support of just people in the industry, and then, of course, some connections that I have and stuff like that, it's making it a little bit easier. But I don't know how people can actually do it who are not in the wedding industry.
I know.
And like, it sounds weird because last year I was sitting here behind this microphone going like, oh, you just do this. That's easy. Or, oh, you should do that.
Yep.
That's easy. Well, I'm going to just kind of like tell you guys now that I'm sorry. Like, it's not that easy. And I've been a part of the wedding industry for 10 plus years now. And it's definitely not easy at all.
No.
And I'm just like, oh shit. Like, this is not what I expected.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's there. I mean, it's crazy because it's like you are getting married in October 2nd, correct?
Yes.
So you are getting to the end of it. I'm technically
Encroaching the middle section.
This is like prime
He's got
time.
time. Don't stress him out.
So this is like, no, I'm just kind of like,
I mean, we had less than a year. We started planning back in October, like late October.
Yeah.
But I mean, still, turn of the year, I'm like, oh, okay.
but this is like halftime, like you're like couple points behind.
Usually,
Like
what I would assume, I'm going to try and guess. I don't know much about your wedding planning so far, so I'm going to guess about where you are.
Okay.
I'm going to assume, obviously, you have a date.
Yes.
You probably have a venue on lock.
Yes.
You probably have your photographers, videographers, any other additional business on lock.
Yes.
And then you probably have just recently gotten your attire and started that process as well.
Ooh. Because that's the big question is what the dress is going to be like. Because we want to keep it more casual. We don't want everyone to show up. Obviously, Sunday best is probably what we're going to go with. But as far as like what I'm going to wear,
Yeah.
kind of still up in the air.
Yeah.
I'll probably rent something nice-ish.
Yeah.
More suits.
Like suit or like
A suit.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll have a coat and a vest and
Nice.
and all that. But
Nice. Have you had any snags so far? Anything you're struggling with?
right now, I mean, just kind of sitting down and getting it done because we have a lot of talks with like our family and what we should go into next with like catering and flowers and stuff like that. Whether we want to do real or fake, or if we want to do both, which we'll probably end up doing both.
Yeah.
And just kind of ending up making the decisions and just being like, oh, well, we have so much time to, actually lock it down, but we really don't have a lot of time to figure it out because we got to let vendors know, we have to let catering and the florist obviously know that.
Yeah, and your prime wedding time too, so.
So, I'm still in the middle of all the big stuff.
Yeah. Have you kind of nailed down your guest list, or I'm sure it's ever changing, but just as far as like getting your dates out and everything?
That's probably the first thing we did was get a guest list together and kind of figure out, because we both knew we wanted a smaller wedding.
Yeah.
I mean, just with who we know and who we want to come and just join us for that day. So
Yeah.
we already kind of had an idea of that.
Cool. What's your guesstimate?
Just about like under 70 people.
Oh, awesome.
That's actually beautiful.
Invited, but then like obviously that's where like translate to like 50, 60 people that actually come, like kids and families and stuff, so.
Do you know what's really odd? Like, I didn't even think about this, but like, as I'm planning mine, literally everywhere that you're trying to plan out, they actually want the ideal, if not pretty much the amount of guests the guest count.
Right.
Everything involves the guest count. Like venue places, they want to know the guest count. Of course, caterer. Obviously, like, I got the catering part, but like, other places that I would never even thought of, they're wanting guest count. And I'm just like, oh shit. Like, I didn't realize like how important the actual guest count is to estimate the pricing for whatever you're going with,
Right,
which is just insane to me.
Decorations, anything else, place, cutlery, and all that stuff goes into the thought.
Yeah, that's insane.
So, I feel like I'm behind. We're just making moves. We just revisited the venue, the Renaissance Wine Garden yesterday. Just with my family and then her family. We both kind of got together to kind of plan on the spot, and they weren't busy at all. There was like 2 people there, which was great.
It was a nice day yesterday too.
Oh yeah.
Did it look lovely?
I was warm in my sweater and all that, but yeah, and it was really pretty on a little patio, which would be the reception area for us.
Awesome.
But yeah, no. Easy enough. They were able to answer some questions that we had there, but then we'll probably end up going back and just kind of like nailing some stuff down. Now we have a general plan for it and work out.
You know what's crazy to me is it really seems like there's a lot to do, but if somebody just if they took a week off of work and buckled down, you could probably get your entire day scheduled in a week.
100%.
See, that's the problem.
I mean, there will be moving pieces and parts here and there, but
you could skeleton out.
If you're just like, I'm ready to make decisions today and get this done, and you have the money to front those retainers and all that good stuff.
Yeah, that's the problem with Sarah and I. Like, we have checked places, we've done tours, we've done the whole like kind of thing. We kind of went involved. We dabbled in the involvement of it, but it's easier when like you could just immediately just start like just throwing down money and just calling it done and then doing whatever. Like, we haven't done any tastings yet because like I feel really weird with tastings because it's like, with the exception of some places that have like preferred vendors where they want you to go to certain caterings and like you want to try those out, but like I think it's just once we figure out the place and then see if there's any like rules on the catering. But then I'm kind of one of those people that like, if I'm going there to try it out, like, yeah, I'm trying it out and pay whatever it needs to be paid for like whatever tasting. But like, I want to give them like, of course, that like time of like, I'm not there just to try out like whatever.
Yeah.
And then like your entire menu for what, like, I don't even know what it is, if it even is a cost or whatever. Like, it's like, I don't want to feel like I'm just using them just to get like, like food and then immediately just dip out and never see them again. Like, I want to make sure that like I'm going there with the intention of, oh, I'm going to get you guys. Like, that's my problem.
See, and it's funny you mentioned that because so recently I've just started to start planning my own, and it always kind of felt like exactly how you're feeling. Like, our parents are kind of pressuring us to get it going, and we have planned to do a ceremony on St. Patrick's Day next year of like officially getting married, and we were going to wait and hold off on like the big shebang of everything until we could pay for it. But our parents were worried that we would never go through with it because something would happen and something else would happen and it just would never come about. So they kind of sat us down and did the whole like, let's talk as families and, you know, kind of hashed all the details out. And it's funny, after that particular meeting where they kind of laid out their side and then what they were offering us, which was generous, so generous, the next day I felt like a green light had gone off. And like, that's when I could finally start like actually making decisions. And I did start making decisions. And I feel like you'll like, when you get there, you'll be like, oh yeah, like now I understand what it's like. And I don't think I would want to do any of the planning until I knew, you know, where I was standing.
Yeah. And that's the main part. And then it's hard because like, of course we want more like a fallish wedding, which we already know that that's hell for wedding industry. Like, we get that. Like, it's meaning like it's just constantly busy. There's a lot of things overly booked, or everything is booked. And then you have the idea of like, okay, well, if I can't get my date, do I push it back next week, or I'm sorry, next year? Or do you just pick a random date? And I'm just one of those weird people that like the date has to mean something. So like, it's just kind of, we even dabbled in the thing where this year the date that we really want is on a Thursday, so we just elope with our family and then just pick a random ass date and then just
telling you know, it's a weight off your shoulders.
Do it like that, honestly. And so because then it's like whatever, because we have an option, but then once again though, it just depends on where it falls. Because like the place that we have, they have a couple options in October, which is perfect because that's kind of where we want. Because it's like Missouri weather in September is still hot, honestly. But then like November, you get that weird, like still fall, sometimes cold, sometimes warm. Like, it's just kind of like a roulette. But then like October has that tendency of just that nice, just kind of fall feel. And that, I feel like that's why St. Louis is so packed in October, is because that's where you kind of beat that summer heat. But then at the same time, you're not getting that like super cold weather. It's still
it's
just
a perfect transition.
It's just
month.
it's nice.
Yep.
And so I think that's what's kind of happening. So
so I went to we decided on Defiance Ridge, and I asked them like, we want to do like a very low key Friday night, just like come and hang out type of thing, like not scheduled dinners at this time, blah blah blah. It's very chill. And so what made that easier was I just said like, hey, what Fridays do you have available? And it was lucky she had the last Friday in April available. And April is a month where you get like 15% off the overall charge too. Nice. So it was like, I was like, ooh, snag that. And it just worked out perfectly like that.
And that's hard because it's like, I've always seen a Saturday, but I just need to take that pride out and focus on like, do I need to do it on a Friday or Sunday? I can't see myself doing a Sunday though.
I can't do a Sunday.
Like I physically can't. Yeah. And the reason why is it's like 80% of our family are out of state. So if we are doing it here, they have to come here. But then also some of them has government jobs and some of them has like, you know, whatever. So like when they have to take time off, it's hard for them to ask, oh yeah, we're having it on Sunday, so Monday take off.
Well, yeah, especially for people, if you have a lot of people out of town. I don't think I have anybody out of town, which is lucky. Nice. But it sounds like you guys have lots of family that will have to come in and need accommodations. That's so confusing. That can get hectic.
And we're trying to keep it away from Chicago because, I mean, it is what it is. But like everything that you get here are $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 more expensive up there.
Oh, naturally.
And
oh
so,
my gosh.
and then plus,
I cannot even imagine.
plus Illinois taxes, plus everything else.
Also, you guys seem like you're the type that would want outdoor space as well. And I can't see there being a lot of that anywhere near Chicago.
I mean, it is a suburban area, but there's not really like, unless you're kind of getting more into the rural area. So like Peoria, maybe like a little bit out of Naperville, couple like areas like that, you could kind of get more of that like.
And I'm sure that'll take the price up too. So well, good luck with that.
It's just, Naperville definitely.
What is available is going to be.
Yeah. And so it's just hard because it also, like I said, our theme is definitely more, it's hard to, I guess, accommodate that here in the Midwest. And that's why it's super difficult for us to really focus on like what we want, because there's not really much space that has like we found a place out in Pacific that looks really nice. And it's weird. It's like we could see ourselves getting married there. But then at the same time though, it's like, are we just settling for that place, or is there an actual place?
Oh, you are overthinking.
And
you are really overthinking.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like, it's one of those things where it's like, we could see ourselves there, but like, is that really there? And then we find a place here locally that we're like, oh my God, we love this place. But then like, we've been having a couple people say like, I don't want to say the name, of course, because we've had people say that like the main person they're iffy on with certain situations that could happen, but we didn't get that from that person. But at the same time, though, their place is ideal for us. Yeah. And like, we absolutely really want to kind of go there. So it's kind of like, do we I
don't think you should let one person
I know, like, do we
ruin, what seems to be the perfect fit for you?
Yeah, because like, do we just go for it?
No, and especially I think going into it knowing and just kind of keeping an eye on things and just double checking everything. It should be fine. You know what I mean? Don't let it bully. I mean, and especially if you haven't even gotten that vibe, maybe it's just with other people in the industry that they're kind of a separate entity kind of person.
And so, but like it kind of gave a red flag, and we've kind of been like watching the place and kind of seeing if we get that.
Sure.
And so like we're kind of now more.
Did you check all the reviews?
Aware. Yes and no.
Oh, I would do a deep hunt.
Like I've been kind of doing it like a deeper hunt because of like I'm to the point of like dropping potential money like this month on it if we want to. So it's like because I want to pull that trigger. And it's just one of those things.
That's probably smart, too, because I know what place you're talking about, and I can only imagine how quickly they fill up.
Yeah.
So for your intimate wedding, are you guys doing plated dinners?
Yeah, so no, we're not.
Okay.
It'll be a buffet style, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Buffet's the way to go.
It's like in-house catering type of situation?
They have recommended ones. The venue that we're looking at is, it seems like they're still pretty new to the wedding industry, or maybe they're just putting more of a focus on it. Lately. So they have a few people that they recommend in-house, but then of course they allowed us to go out and find around. We just have to have proof of insurance from them.
Awesome.
And that'll be it.
Oh, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's rare. Most places have like either like these four or ours. Yeah. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah, it's I've definitely that's the one problem that I'm also have too, is because like my goal is to, like I said, good food, good music, good drinks. That's kind of like my like go-to for reception. And like, it's hard, especially for the one like in Pacific, there was one where they're like, oh, we only have like 4 options. And then like out of those options, there was only one of those that actually was like a restaurant. Yeah. And like you had like, you could tell because in the package, when I was looking at it, you could tell like which one was like just like tier 1, like, or like just more budget friendly, and then to like tier 4 of like the high end whatever. Sure. And it's good, but the only problem is like it's one of those weird things is like I don't have any sorts of like relevance or just anything like.
You're forced to go.
Like I'm forced to like having to book them, and I don't want to if I've never like had it before. Right. It's like one of the restaurants is like Hawthorne restaurant, or whatever, which is like a high end, like super nice.
That sounds delicious.
Like,
just with the name, I don't even know what they serve.
Yeah, and like, and it's apparently like a higher end, and they're really good with like wine and stuff like that. But like, I've never been there before, and it's just like,
yeah, that was something I did like about Defiance too. I mean, they're a restaurant in themselves, obviously a winery, but we are doing just appetizers, and they actually said like they have a list, obviously, of appetizers they do most often, but they said they would like work with us in the kitchen too, and like come up with something if we wanted to, or if we had like any ideas to bring forward, which is really cool. So, which
is smart. Like, I'm surprised. I've been a few that have only done like appetizers or finger foods like throughout the reception. They had like,
and they're letting us have late night pizza delivered, which is awesome.
I think it was like 5 or 6 like times. So like it was like right at the beginning where like everyone just got there. They had like one round, and then like randomly in like 30 or 40 minutes or something.
That's scary.
They had
Wouldn't
like
you be starving?
They had like another round.
Oh,
and then like. And it was very like high end. Well, also
like cocktail party.
Yeah, it was
if
very
you
like
find a cocktail napkin, grab a bite kind of situation.
It was definitely like a black tie entire type of situation / like wedding. And yeah, it was very that style.
Okay.
So they had like 5 or 6 times, and it was cool. But I was like, man, like this is very like I didn't even feel like I was at a wedding. I felt like I was at like a party or something.
See, and that's exactly what I'm going for.
And so, like, well, no,
but we are having like a bar where at any time, if you're hungry, go up and grab your stuff kind of situation.
That is more for me. That's doable in a way, like where you're accommodating on people's needs, as opposed to there it was very like scripted / like structured of like. 8:45, another round went of like whatever this was, and then like 9:15 hit. There was another round of like whatever, and it was super cool to experience. But I definitely it's nice when you have servers or like a buffet or whatever that you could like just grab things in your own terms, as opposed to like
for those people that come hungry to a wedding,
sitting there waiting, like which
exactly.
I mean, which personally like. This is when like my side kind of kicks in where it's like you shouldn't be going to a wedding super hungry to begin with, because it's like
but at the same time I see the side where if you're asking me to take time out of my day, especially if you're going to take half or my entire Saturday, you better be feeding me well.
Oh yeah, and like
which I totally respect that point of view.
Oh, also. I get it. Like definitely meals and stuff like that should happen, but like schedule. I don't know. It's hard because it's like, it's hard to explain. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm very just.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you're smart, you don't go starving to a wedding, understanding that in a wedding you might not be eating for the next 2 to 3 hours, depending on the situation. Obviously. So, suggestion: wedding guests, eat before you go.
So, but yeah. I was going to try to say something. Is there like a certain theme you guys actually like went with? Like I never really like talked about this.
Not
like,
really. For us, we have ideas for colors and color schemes. Like we're going for more of like a rustic look, like a burnt autumn orange,
pretty
sage green. Throw a little brass wire with some stuff in there and call it good. But
nice.
We kind of just started to narrow down after yesterday, after seeing the venue again for the second time in a different part of the year, and with a better idea of what we kind of wanted. It made sense for us with our taste, and kind of just to make it a little simpler. We found some colors that we both enjoy, and it would fit with the venue.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we're sticking with right now.
That's awesome.
Are you doing St. Patrick's green?
Yeah, so we're probably just doing green, white, and like gold.
Like what type of green though? Is like that type of green, or like are you going
closer
with,
to like darker than that? Like I've found the picture of the green suit that I would like my future husband to wear.
We're talking coat, vest.
We're talking pants, coat, vest type of situation. Let's see here.
It's a lot of scrolling.
I did a lot of screenshots yesterday.
All right, how often do you go and clear up photos?
Oh, gosh.
Sidetrack.
I have over 2,000 photos, so I'm probably be in the same boat.
What?
I think I have
maybe I have 50.
that or more.
A lot of photos of my cat.
I just delete them once I post them. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Oh, that's actually really dope.
Isn't that cool?
That's dope.
Yeah.
I can see Garrett.
Yeah, I know.
That's,
Me too.
I'm
so excited. Yeah, I know. It's just so cool. And now I'm like, that's like the one thing I'm like looking around town to find. Like, where do I find this custom suit? We were just in Del Mar yesterday on the Loop. Okay, side note again. Do you say in the Loop or on the Loop?
Let's say the Loop. The Loop.
Are you going to...
We were hanging out at the Loop yesterday.
Yeah, I'm going to the Loop.
Okay.
I say the Loop.
All right.
But also, once again, you're asking somebody from Chicago.
I mean, I say the Loop, but I say on the Loop. I don't know why I say on the Loop. I guess because, so it's just the one street, right? That's technically the Loop.
Right.
Yeah, I literally, so if someone goes, hey,
Like just Del Mar.
what was that concert place down there?
What, Del Mar Hall pageant?
The other one, like at the Italian restaurant.
Oh.
I might be showing my age here.
Are you talking about, you're not talking about Blueberry Hill.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly the one I'm talking about. Is that the one I think it is.
On Del Mar, yeah.
Yeah.
In the corner right by the Jimmy John's?
Yes. I was just there like 2 weeks ago. Yes.
I don't know where the Jimmy John's is.
Right
on
next
the
to
Loop.
I don't know. I just, any single time I went down there, like if I was going to the pageant or whatever, they're just like, oh, where's that at? I go, it's on the Loop for that. But then if
you describe something, a place,
yeah,
on the Loop.
Yeah.
On the Loop. Thank you.
You can be in the Loop. Oh, we're just going to be in the Loop.
Like,
Or at
That
the
doesn't
Loop.
sound right, though, does it?
No, it sounds really not.
no, like if I'm describing something, then yeah, I definitely will use on the Loop.
On the Loop. Okay,
But-
so it is on.
I never caught myself ever saying it's in Del Mar or on Del
I
Mar.
say it's on Del Mar, or if it's on the Loop. People don't know what the Loop is. I say it's on.
Well, I will explain myself if I say the Loop. And they're like, what? I'm like, Del Mar Loop, like on Del Mar. I'll say it like that. But
I don't think I've ever had a conversation with a St. Lucian that didn't know where the Loop was.
I've had some people. But like that's a little bit more.
I've talked to people who
Like an
separate
older-
the Loop and Del Mar as 2 different places.
Yeah, I've had that before. I'm just trying to remember. Like,
It's on the Loop.
yeah, I just go. Let's go to the Loop. Like that's how I say it. I go, oh, let's go to the Loop today. Or
So
like,
what if we're just talking about, I need to go to Savvy. At the Loop? On the Loop?
Oh, that's on the Loop.
On the Loop, right?
I hate Savvy.
Okay, but I saw a green suit in their window yesterday. That's why I brought up
Well,
the
there's a
Loop.
Savvy at Mid
Savvy
Rivers Mall, so I would never go down to the.
Well, for me, the Loop is only 5 minutes away. Savvy on the Loop is only 5 minutes away from my house. So instead of driving 30 minutes to Mid Rivers Mall, I'll probably hit that
So
one.
if I'm describing you going, hey, I need to go to Savvy on the Loop,
right.
I will say on the Loop.
Yeah.
But then if you go, but then like if you already know that, then I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm just gonna go to Savvy, and then I'm just trying to think,
I
like,
think you're going to find it's
like,
a stretch to get a context of I'm going to be in the Loop.
yeah, like it's just
Yeah.
that's what it is. It's like I don't,
You don't
Yeah,
say
okay.
I don't think you're saying the Loop.
yeah, I guess I am. So just saying on the Loop.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Anyways,
All right, now
I'm
go
in
ahead,
the.
go through your photos and go and start deleting.
Start
those
deleting.
now.
Start-
That will take the rest of this podcast.
So, but then what?
I'm stressing you out.
There's so many. Just delete them.
Why is it so stressful
I mean,
for
there's
you?
just a lot of clutter on your phone.
Well,
It
I
is a
mean,
lot
like
of clutter.
she
You're
does a
right.
lot of social media. I don't know.
I do a lot
How
of
many
social
actual
media.
photos do I have? I'm just kind of curious.
I do a lot of social media, and for a couple people that'll be like, "Hey,
See, I
don't
tell
know
myself,
where this is."
I tell myself I'm going to do a lot of social media work, and I don't. Currently, right now on my phone, without talking about my iCloud, I have 1,224 photos, and I have 72 videos. And then I have apparently 93 photos and 32 videos.
I have 2,670 photos on my phone. And I need them.
What do you?
Android doesn't give me a number. Hold on. I have to find a number.
Android.
I can't say much because I was on Team Android. So
Now you're full Apple.
Full Apple, baby.
Came to the dark side.
Came to the dark side again. Like I said, last time I had an iPhone, it was the 4S. And then I was on Android ever since. And then got the 12 Pro. Which this by far out of the, it sounds bad, but it's like from the 4S to this, like this is tremendously better than the 4S. But then at the same time though, I probably could have said that for the 5, 5S, 6, 6S, 7, 7S, 8, yes. All the way up to 12.
300.
True.
300?
300.
Jeez. That's like...
That's what I'm saying, G's.
No, the G's for you.
Where are your photos? All your...
Online. Instagram.
Exactly. Instagram.
And then I delete the rest.
But don't you not save? Like I love like going... I don't need to save. I love going back in time at...
See, I don't post anything on my social media.
I go back in time online.
I like going on May 24th, 2015 and seeing my younger self playing dodgeball. Like,
you are a ghastly
that is
big...
terrifying.
Who is that?
Like, that's...
I don't know that guy.
That's very tiny bachelor player Tyler back in the day. But yeah, I don't know. Where are we at? Suits. Honestly, I like to do something different with suits. Like, because I worked for Men's Warehouse.
Cheap suits.
Savvy is...
Not so cheap.
Savvy is...
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
As someone who's been in that particular industry.
Yeah, 100%.
What am I looking at here for a completely custom suit? Fabric, head to toe.
I can tell you right now, it's going to be a lot easier doing that in Men's Warehouse if you really want to do that, because they do custom suits. The brand is called Joseph Abood.
Like, what are we talking about here? Like $5,000? More than that?
No. You could start off with like a normal based whatever. So like you could choose jackets and stuff, and then you could customize that if that makes sense.
They'll give you templates and you.
So there's different like suit outlook. So like you could get the more like slim look or like whatever it is, based on the style you want. That is going to be the price tag. Most of those suits are starting roughly from $400 to $800, give or take, for just that alone. You go all the way. See, that's the thing is, it's like, what are you all customizing? Are you customizing the inside as well? Is the inside of the suit going to have like a crazy like pattern?
Probably not.
Are you so?
That'd be pretty cool though.
So that's what I'm saying is like you could literally from head to toe custom the entire suit, and yeah, that's going to be more in the thousands. If you're just getting a very basic custom of like, oh, I just want this color, you're not worried about the inside. If he's a suspenders guy, definitely getting the suspenders buttons as opposed to the little clip-ons. Personally, the button suspenders are way better. Plus, they last longer. So that tailored alone is only like $4 or $5. I mean, once again, though, inflation, and also I haven't touched Men's Warehouse, or I haven't worked for Men's Warehouse since 2015.
Right.
So we're talking.
I mean, I'd love to keep it local. And I know that there's a guy here in, I think, Brentwood area that has his own shop, and we see him at the bridal shows sometimes.
Honestly, a basic custom, you're probably going to look around $700, $800.
Wow. I'm willing to spend $2,000 on this.
Yeah. So
I want it to be like tailored, like the man is putting his hand very close. That's how tailored I want this to be for Garrett.
So, I mean, let me just put it this way. My suit that I've always pictured myself getting and customizing would be roughly around $2,000.
Okay.
And that's literally head to toe custom.
I think that's probably what I'm going to do.
So
what are you doing over there?
What?
$200 rental? Maybe.
So
that's not off the table. I don't know.
No, I do respect that.
No,
I do respect that.
So the reason why though is I need something. It's bad because it's like, because I was in the industry, I just don't want to rent. I hate how the rentals looked. The only one that even remotely looks decent are the Vera Wang tuxedos or the Joseph Abu that just came out when I was working. And the only reason why I prefer only those as rental wise is because those are the ones that have more of the slim fitting or more like tailored to your body as a rental. Yeah. The other ones are super boxy and they look really weird on anybody.
That is my biggest concern. Especially because Garrett is a tall, lengthy guy that he will look ridiculous.
Because his build was my build 6 years ago.
Right.
So when I was his build, the only rentals that actually worked for me was the Vera Wang ones and Joseph Abboud, because those are the only ones that actually gave you a slim fitting tailored look.
Okay.
And those are the ones that I actually modeled in for Men's Warehouse. And I've showed you photos of those. So like those are those. But any other rental ones, even like that's why I don't really care for Savvy, is because a lot of them are like super boxy or they don't tailor well. Because what people don't fully understand when they actually are getting a suit is the pants that you're wearing go 3 different sizes depending on where you're at. So for example, if you're wearing a 32, like if you have a 32 waist, it goes from 30, 32, 34. So anybody that has a 30 waist, a 32 waist, and a 34 waist could wear those same pants.
Oh no.
So, and the meaning like, because it has a little like strap thing.
That is like, isn't that the number one thing that's supposed to be correct?
Well, so like that's what I'm saying.
Size?
Is like it literally
they have a pull tab.
You have a thing, like a clip that you could do that, and the only problem is like if you have a little bit larger man that is a 32, 34, they eventually will stretch it out. Which then, and if someone gets a 30,
so why is it okay for the bride to go out and buy like a $3,000 dress, and that's like, wow, that's like a good deal. And then the guys over here are just expected or just do. Like, why not just like a little bit more to make sure that it fits you right?
So to be honest, I know that answer because I was a part of the industry. A lot of the guys that came in just didn't care. They don't care.
They should.
There's a lot of guys out there that
I would like to care for them.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you, they don't care until they're wearing a suit that fits right and they look in the mirror and they're like, whoa, I've never worn anything like this before.
Yeah. But then I also have a lot of people, like, I'm not pointing out any just area, but then there was a lot of times though when I did work, I would get people from like Wentzville or Troy or like Winfield. They come in and they're like, I got to get this monkey suit. And they like, don't want to wear it. They always, complain about whatever size or whatever. They think everything is super tight, which is not. And like everything like that, where it's just, they just don't care.
Yeah.
And they don't know why it cost a lot. They don't understand anything like that. And it's just, that's why I don't want to do any sorts of rental. I could just easily do custom. And then plus for me, like I'm a big bow tie guy and there's a tailored person that I know in one of the industries where they could create neckties out of bow ties. And when you do that though, the knot is fatter. So when you create a bow tie out of a tie, you get a nice like fat knot as opposed to just like a skinnier version of a tie or of a bow tie. So yeah, it's just
cool.
It's a cool experience, but at the same time though, it once again is one of those things of like, I wish guys took time to look good.
Yeah.
Because like you have, brides who buy their dress.
Yeah.
But then also for the bridesmaids, because they have the bridesmaid buy those dresses. There's no like rental opportunities, correct?
That's right.
So like everything is bought.
Mm-hmm. They're about $200. That's what they run right now.
Which I always thought that was interesting because it's like right there it kind of shows the indication of like, are guys kind of the second thought or second nature of a wedding day? The reason why I'm saying that is because like all of like girls' dresses and stuff like that, you have to buy it. But literally every single piece or attire that a man could wear on a wedding day, we could rent, all the way up to even the pocket square.
That's fair.
Shoes, ties, bow ties, suspenders, belts, even watches, like things, like every single attire that a guy could wear for a wedding day, they could rent, never own. Like they could just rent it out for $300, turn it the next day at whatever Men's Warehouse, Savvy,
It is
black tux
interesting
suit,
that
whatever it is.
someone hasn't thought to do that with bridesmaids' dresses.
Like, I never really dawned. Like, I don't know. I like thinking about it now. It's kind of interesting to be kind of cool if you could go more in depth on that of like, why is this a thing? And we could probably get more information on it, but I don't know.
If you do think about it, if say a girl wants all of her bridesmaids to wear the exact same dress, right? So a place would have to have tons of sizes of that one dress that they can rent out to each individual bride, and then they would get them all back, and you'd have to do that with every color in every style, multiple styles. I mean, that's probably not an option.
That's what I was thinking.
So for Men's Warehouse though, we didn't have every single piece in the back. Like they ordered it.
Yeah.
So it came in.
Well, that's fair too.
And then
that's right.
And then so when they came in, if there was a mess up or whatever, we would have the popular vest in the back for whatever sizes, preferably more the larger ones, because that's where the normal issues were. Where
the average.
Yeah. But we would have, the only thing that was in the back was all of our pocket squares, because we just needed to have those. Mainly the ties and bow ties, because sometimes the code that you put in the software was one number off. So there was a lot of times where, like, if you meant to actually put a tie, but then all of a sudden it comes in as a bow tie, you had the tie in the back just in case. So that's how, like, because when, like, let's say when you do this, I don't know, once again, if you're doing rental or not, but let's say you're
I talked you right out of that.
let's say you have a wedding on Saturday. You book everything, all that's good. Every guy who gets their suits or tuxedos that they rented, they will pick it up on that Thursday before. Sometimes we've had people that are, for some reason, late. They would wait to pick up their stuff that Friday evening before we closed. And then all of a sudden, one of our rules was, like, once it came in and they came in to pick it up, we tried to get them to try on everything to make sure it fits. But because if somebody was, like, you know, super busy, totally understand, or they're in a rush, or they have to make it to the rehearsal dinner, whatever the situation is, they would just grab it and be like, I can't try it on, I gotta go. And they'll go. 8 out of 10 times, that dude is calling in the morning of Saturday going, hey, this button's missing, or this doesn't fit, or I don't know how to work the pants. It's super tight. And I'm just like, well, there's a little thingy to, like, loosen it up, to, you know, do whatever. Like, so it's so difficult. So, yeah, it's just go with just buying stuff, like buying the suits. I don't know. I was
going to say, my friend just got married, and what they did was, originally they were going to have everybody, if they wanted, there was going to be like a custom suit option for like $180 or something like that. Mm-hmm. And Garrett was going to do it. He's like, yeah, custom, like I'll have this for work too. Mm-hmm. But then they ended up just getting pants. Like, they bought them all pants from, like, Kohl's that all matched. And then they all went and got them, like, hemmed to their appropriate size. Mm-hmm. And then it was just, like, white button-downs with suspenders. And so it was, like, very low-key and easy. And in that same sense, too, like, everybody got everything tailored for, like, a reasonable price, too. So it worked out pretty well.
Which I don't understand. Like, that's another thing that you just brought it up, which I'm glad you did, is why I don't understand why guys... we don't have the opportunity just to buy suits. I mean, what you can actually, there has been times where we've had people that just would buy suits for everybody. And, like, it's an actual, like, they're buying it, they're not renting it. But you could reuse those suits for other weddings, funerals, other attire.
Totally.
Like you have an opportunity.
Break it up, use it as a blazer.
Yeah, and
on
like
a pair of jeans.
And that's the thing, is like, yeah, for me, I have several suits because I worked at a suit shop, so I had to wear it. So like, I'm kind of the odd man out of the situation, but like most average guys don't have a suit at all. Yeah. They have maybe like a dress shirt, dress slacks, some options of ties, and that's it.
That's exactly it.
And like, but
my tie options.
But for me though, like I have like 50 ties, 50 bow ties, all these different dress shoes, all of these like.
Where do you put those? Like, do you have a closet dedicated?
I do. I do have like a section of my closet that has like a little cubby section that has like, I have a tie bar. So I have all my ties and all my bow ties, and then on the tie bar, I just looped my belts on there because it's just a lot easier to do. And then cubbies of just like, because traditionally I'm still a strong believer that like a man needs a really good black, some sort of like gray, and then like a certain just color one. So like I have a darker navy blue one. And so I have those, and then have different slacks that I can like trade in and out. And then I have dress shirts that I could like do variations with those three. And like, I have like one or two shirts that only work on one of them, but like most of my style that I have for ties and shirts are very like versatile, where I can literally just blindfold myself, grab a shirt, grab a tie, and then immediately grab like whatever suit, and I could just blend it together and it looks good. And that's just me just knowing my knowledge of like color theory and stuff like that, which is a whole nother story. But a lot of people tend to focus on like, okay, this is a blue suit, I only want to focus on the colors that work for this suit only.
Sure.
So, but yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's just a unique thing that I wish guys got more into.
Yeah, just think about it a little bit more.
Which I'm more relaxed now. Back then I wasn't. So I have it, but like I don't use it as much, sadly. I just stick with black now. Change the segment here real fast. We went through kind of like how planning and organizations for our weddings going, because once again, like all three of us are not getting married together, but getting married. We're getting married. So we are, I could for sure.
You can't handle this.
I can guarantee you guys cannot handle me.
No, I could handle you.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. No, I for sure can. I've had a fair share of.
Oh, what's going to follow?
Very spicy, sassy women in my life. I've had a fair share.
I thought you were going to say the B word.
No, I would never call you that.
Right.
No.
To my face on the podcast.
Even off podcast, I've never said that. No.
Then that's on the record.
That is on the record.
That's on the record.
No, I have full respect for you. No, because we just went through everything, just how we're planning and stuff like that, which beautiful. I still have no idea what I want to do, but well, hey, well, we'll there'll be a nice
follow
little
your
update.
Journey.
Yeah, we're still need to go on that journey. But yeah, well, let's switch to the segment. We didn't do it at the beginning, but we're gonna just throw it in there. We're gonna do the awesome tip of. Or I guess a week, because we're only doing one podcast a week. So tip of the week is whatever Gabby says.
This is actually from one of our new members, Emma Cleveland, here at ND Events. So we're very excited to have her join the team.
Which she also would be co-hosting relatively soon for like podcasts and stuff. So you actually will get to see her relatively soon. So
Super sweet lady.
Yes.
And her tip was, don't be afraid to have some fun during your pictures. This is your day, and we want your personality and love to shine through in your photos.
AKA embrace the rain.
Embrace the rain. Don't be too awkward. I know that's a long throwback.
That's a really long throwback.
Long throwback.
I'm throwing it in because we're gonna have newer people listening.
Heck Heck yeah.
But yeah, have fun. You said photos.
Be you. Yeah.
Photos,
be you.
videos.
Don't.
I mean, even with the video, I can tell you from experience, the more you are yourself, the more you let loose, kind of have fun and ignore just the cameras around.
Yeah.
That's the best part.
I imagine it
of
starts off awkward at first because not everybody loves to be the center of attention or
Yeah, it's awkward.
take a million photos or anything. But I think as long as you just kind of keep an open dialogue with your photographers and videographers, they're people too.
Honestly,
Believe it.
I try to, no matter the couple, whoever it is, if they're outgoing or if they're not, I try to lean it on myself and whoever the lead photographer is at the time to kind of help direct and get them comfortable with moving or just like kissing in front of the camera or just like holding hands and walking.
Yeah.
It's real easy to kind of get caught up in it, but as soon as you just kind of like listen to some direction or like lean on the photographers to give you some ideas.
Yeah. You know,
that's all it needs.
I am not big on PDA and the whole like kissing a million times in front of your entire friends and family. I think I'm really going to struggle with that.
Sure.
So if you guys have any tips as people on the other side of the camera.
I mean, I've had a lot of couples that are, you could tell that they were just super awkward with it. So you just had to like kind of move away from that and make them feel more comfortable. And honestly, what I like to do, which would be great for you guys even, because I could definitely see Garrett getting into this really, is like, I like to get more natural poses where it's not like too posy, because photos could look really posy when even with like kiss photos. So what I'll do is I'll have like for example, if I'm shooting your wedding, I would talk to Garrett and be like, hey, why don't you like whisper a joke or say something that will make her laugh in her ears. And then like you immediately start laughing and I get this really cool shot. Like that is more personalized and like as opposed to like, give me a kiss or like Eskimo kisses or like so I always like I try to stay away from kisses because I don't get it much from Tristan when I'm editing his weddings, but there's a lot of like videographers that are on our team that like it's just full blown like every single shot it's a kiss. And I'm just like after a while it's like okay, we get it. Like you guys are in love. Like it's hard to like make it's hard to make a video with just kissing photos or videos, and it's just like there needs to be more involvement to it.
More
and
diversity.
So I personally
I do you lead up to it.
I only use it for like the final shot or something. Like I lead up or like you said, and then also I tease it a lot. So I do a lot of like kind of coming close to each other, putting your foreheads together. No, like Eskimo kisses or any weird like nosy or whatever.
No, that's not
like,
a thing
that's
you've
super,
seen.
Huh?
That's not a thing you've seen.
Oh yeah.
No way.
Oh yeah.
Like eyelashes touching.
Wait a minute. That's a butterfly.
That's a butterfly.
Oh.
Like Eskimos are noses.
Oh.
Like they do this.
Oh, I got those mixed up.
Yeah. No, those are butterfly.
Okay. Ugh,
I've
still
seen
don't like
I've
that.
seen those too though. So, but like I like those like I call them like lovey-dovey. Like those type of shots I keep closer to the end because not only that, but at that time, depending on if they do drink or not, they have a little more liquid courage in them. So it's a little bit easier for them to kind of like be
I was
more.
going to say the same thing. I feel like alcohol is probably the number one thing to cure
It's more
embarrassment.
Yeah, it's more they're more open to do things, but yeah, I do a lot of like pretend I'm out here, do this awesome slow dance in the middle of this field.
The slow dance.
Like that's a beautiful shot as opposed to like as JP says it, make out. And I'm just like I don't want that. Like I want like don't get me wrong, it looks good, but like it's just that's not what I'm doing. I want to do a nice flowing thing. I rather like
keep it classy, ladies and gentlemen. Keep it classy.
I have like I do a lot of like movement shots where like I'm on my Ronin and I'm following you walking on this track or pathway with the Ronin and getting some cool shots of your holding you guys' hands and then smiling, laughing, looking at whatever, acting like you're pointing at a bird or something. Like something like that is a little more appealing. So, but
Are you shooting my videography?
I should be. I hope so. That'd be nice.
I didn't think you'd want to.
Why would I not?
Because you're invited as a guest.
I mean,
just come out of the window.
I've done a lot
You're
of
welcome
those.
to do both.
Whatever you want. It's basically it's whatever type of video you're wanting. Like if you're really wanting,
If I'm wanting like the best of work, I should come to you.
I'm just saying, like if you just
with his main videographer next to him.
if you're wanting no, honestly,
I'm busy, so
he's busy as being a guest.
Everyone's a guest.
No, honestly, like no, I'm being serious. Like if you want me or Tristan, that's fine.
I think I requested Tristan,
Okay.
if I'm correct.
Perfect.
But he says he's busy, so
Okay.
I just
crap.
assumed that was because
If it wasn't, let me put it this way: if it wasn't me, I'd rather it to be Tristan. So
Me too.
I'm just saying.
Settled.
So that's how
because I am busy.
that's how it works. It's if it's
your
not
wedding.
if it's not me, then it's my right hand man. Because we have been working together on a lot of projects and some nice goodies coming up. But yeah, keeping it fun. Also try to like just in general to kind of go back onto that topic. Come up with ideas. I know this sounds really cliche, but look at Pinterest, and even though it's a photo, you could still imply that as a video. Yeah. So like if you have ideas that want to make it more unique and stuff, definitely give your videographers a chance to actually look at those, inspirational pieces that you may look at, because we could definitely create it into a video form. Super easy to do. I'd rather have a couple that knows what they want than one where I'm sitting there trying to figure it out, which I can figure out, and that's fine. And if you may not be that creative to be able to figure out what you fully want, which is totally fine. Like, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but preferably I would like to have some sort of just inspiration, because like it kind of gives a chance to understand like what their style
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
Because like it's hard, because like I've had I don't know about you, but I've had a lot of couples that are super, super quiet, like super quiet with each other during the mobile shoot, stuff like that. We get into the reception and they're playing like really insane, like, and they're going crazy. And I'm just like, you guys completely threw me off the whole day, because I was shooting a completely different style. And if they were fun and like that, I would have gotten a little bit more like entertaining shots, as opposed to being very, because if you give me conservative behavior, I'm going to shoot conservative. If you are more outgoing / just kind of flowy on certain things, I'm going to be a little more playful with my shots. I feed off the couple
naturally.
And as a person who is experienced of shooting like that, that's how we shoot most of these, is we go by off your behavior, what your guys are doing. So if you want fun, be fun.
Yeah.
Especially as a freelance. Obviously, not having met the couple or just maybe had a conversation over the phone. That's all we get. And then whatever fun thing you happen to tell me over the phone, or whatever fun thing you tells me over the phone.
I was going to say, just talk to whoever you're working with. Even if you're nervous, just be like, hey, I'm nervous. And they'll be like, oh, don't worry. We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
that opens the gate, because at least you tell me about it. That's just like, all right. There's a little leeway for me to test the water.
Instead of kind of being awkward about it.
Yeah.
I was such a nerd when I started like into this industry, I was taking like classes for psychological, like learning body language and like psychology, and just like kind of learning just different behavior structures and stuff like that, and how to read people and all that. Because for my first paying production company for a wedding, we did not speak to the people or even see them until the day of. And literally when I went to go pick up the gear, I would grab the timesheet or the timeline, or whatever you want to call that, and I'll see their name, and that's all I get. And then where their address is. And I'm rolling into the house, hotel, whatever it's at, and I'm like, hey, I'm looking for Brittany. She's like, I'm here. And then in that 5 minutes from introducing myself to reading the room, I'm trying to get as much information I can of like, okay, how is this going to be? Like, am I is this going to be a little bit conservative? Is this going to be playful? Is this like just all of these ideas are running through my head. I'm looking around. I'm looking at the bridal party or bridal suite, trying to kind of read them, see how they are, listen to the music, seeing what they're liking, what is up to, what are the makeup artists are doing. Like I'm trying to figure everything out, building this puzzle piece, and then eventually I'm just like, okay. And immediately my mind just goes through the entire day, and I can start picturing the entire wedding video. And like my brain might be like one of those weird ones because like I do actually have a very like photogenic memory of some sort where like I'm able to immediately like image like where each shot is going to land on the timeline. But at the same time though, it's been more of the experience of like knowing it. Like my first one, it wasn't like that. Like I had an idea, but then though, my very first wedding that I ever did, I actually had a piece of paper with already an idea of what I wanted. But then eventually it got to the point where I could just feed off of people and realize like, okay, this is what I'm doing. This is how I'm shooting. This is where this shot's going to land. This is where I'm going to do here. Okay, I already have a music in mind. Like my brain just goes 150 miles per hour that entire day.
As it should.
So, but at the same time, look for references and stuff because it's definitely easier to do. So
it makes it a little more unique because you can go in. I mean, I'll go in and like have a set thing. Like these are the shots that look good, but then if you got an idea, that's a little bit more personalized than just me kind of going through the normal things with the little flair of it being different couple, different location, maybe different angle.
Okay, real fast before we close out, I definitely want to do one little segment, which is kind of going to be a little bit newer, but it's going to be kind of like it's going to be wedding themed related, but it's going to have like just kind of, it's just going to just be wedding theme related, but it's going to be a question and then just answering off whatever it is. So sometimes it may just be Gabby and I just doing this. Other times if Emma's not able to pop in, we're going to have Tristan in because he is going to be kind of...
My fiance?
Huh?
My fiance?
No. Emma...
Oh, I was like...
New. Yeah, there's another Emma. No.
She need to be here.
If Emma, our
new coordinator.
Yeah, there it is.
New coordinator.
I was trying to think of her title.
New on the marketing team.
Yeah. So she'll be one of the co-hosts on here. If it's not her, it's going to be Tristan because he's behind the camera regardless. So like, I'd rather have 3 of us on here than 2 of us because it's a little bit easier to kind of like flow conversations. As you could tell, we are becoming more unscripted where we're not, as you see, I didn't even bring my laptop this time. Like I am trying to keep it where I'm not looking at a script anymore. We're not reading off anything. It's just easier for off cuff, unscripted wedding podcast for you guys to learn about knowledge about weddings made perfect. So like I said though, this segment is going to be about just kind of anything and anything on the table with like just coming up with ideas or games or whatever. But the topic is if you had unlimited money to use or spend or whatever, what venue or location you would do your wedding at. But we have to keep it in the St. Louis region. So you could do like Missouri and you could kind of do like, I'll even give you like a little bit out into like Illinois, a little bit in Iowa, Kansas City, like kind of the states around us. But you can't go like up to Chicago though. But like basically furthest west is like Kansas City. Furthest north is, I'll give you like the Quad Cities in Iowa. Furthest east in Illinois, I will say roughly around like O'Fallon, Illinois. Like if you are able,
have my answer.
Okay, yeah, if you're able to choose the location and venue, what would it be? And then also any other like things you would have at your place if you had unlimited money, resources, also like a time of date or whatever, like what would it be?
I think mine would be probably in the fall, probably October-ish. And my venue choice would be Botanical Gardens because I think it's very unique and St. Louis driven, and I love that. And it's mostly stunning at all times of the year.
At Botanical Gardens, would it be like a certain section or would it be all of it?
I mean, obviously, it'd probably be a certain section. I mean, if we could rent the entire place. I mean, obviously, if I had all the money in the world, I would rent all of it. But I would want it to be like outside, and then like probably tables outside, like along the pathway. Very like Pinterest board.
Yeah.
But and then I would have. There's a caterer called Artistic Creations, I'm pretty sure, and they do like the best like meat and cheese catering and like very appetizer-y, like delectable high-end food. And I love them too. I think I would have them. And then probably just like I would spend most of the money on like florals and just make everything super plush. Something like that.
No, that's cool. What do you think?
For the venue, I like a lot of venues that aren't local. Like if it were up to me, I'd rather go to like the Redwoods or something like that, which is real nature, because that's what we had in mind first, was to be surrounded by pine trees and have the floor just be covered in pine needles. We'll put carpets down, rugs down, or whatever, and like have a like a little trail. So I'm sure there's something like that around. Ish. We just couldn't find it for the price we wanted. Anyway,
sure.
So I would have it there. I think the next thing would probably be for her to get a dress that she would really, really want. Because we're doing a hand-me-down now, which is great. That's fine. It looks like it's going to, from what she said, it's going to fit well. She needs to do alterations and stuff like that. So I want her to kind of maybe have the pick of like anything she could ever want on the dress, and then get whatever kind of bouquet she wants, whether it be like the waterfall run or something more simple.
That's awesome.
Otherwise, I don't know. I don't know what I'd do with all that money in the first place.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, it's not like unlimited. It's just more this factor of like if you were able to just book everything that you wanted like on your list without having to worry about money. So it doesn't have to be like top of the line things.
You know what I would want is rides home for everybody.
Yeah.
Ubers constantly circling to drive everybody home. That would be such a luxury.
A somewhere,
yeah.
Get the shuttle up.
Because like I'm a very like simple guy. So like even like I'm saying unlimited, it doesn't mean like I want like high end like everyone gets like Ruth's Chris like catering or whatever.
Right.
Like I'm not saying like that. Like it's if I had unlimited money where I'll be able to book just everything they want or like without having to worry about like, oh, it's $5,000, no problem, here you go. Yeah. Like I'd rather just like that would be nice as opposed to being like, oh shit, it's $5,000.
Yep. And I'd love to pay for all my bridesmaids and like groomsmen.
That's what I'm saying.
Crap.
I was gonna say,
I would obviously have a big down payment on a house then, likely, so that wouldn't be. So then I would actually register for gifts instead of not registering for gifts.
So for mine, it's hard because I'm making it St. Louis based because I'm trying to keep it here locally because we are a St. Louis based podcast, but we are everywhere. But we're trying to keep it in the Midwest. It sucks because like ideal, if I were talking like dream location, it would be Gavin's Gardens in Arkansas. But I can't do that because it's in Arkansas. If I have to do it here locally, I am kind of on the same page with Tristan because we are kind of going for more of that. Because you would consider it more whimsical fantasy, more like Lord of the Rings style, like we've said, like that deep greens and stuff like that. So definitely we need, of course, nature for that. The only place that actually has kind of relevance to that is kind of near or off near Branson area. There has been 2 locations there that I really, really would like. However, though, they're like super out of our budget and they're like booked until 2026. Like, and it's just impossible for us to get. I don't know their names, but it would be one of those 2 places. It would absolutely be in the fall time or the date that we would like, which would be September 7th. But the only problem is that would be a little bit more warmer. So we probably would do like our normal elopement on that date just to have it. And then probably just do it like in October or something like we've been planning on doing. Yeah. So like I said, simplify like certain things. I would love to for just doing different shout outs. One of my favorite flower companies is called Flower to the People. I think they actually are.
I worked with them.
Huh?
I worked with them.
Yeah.
One of my brides.
They're super cool. I just love who they are as a person or as a company. Just love everything about them.
Their main lady's so sweet. Oh my gosh.
Just everything about them. Just their shop and just who they are as a company is just outstanding. And I think it's just mainly going with them for their personality as opposed to like. But the thing is, they do everything. It's so beautiful. But I would honestly use them, but of course Sarah would love just to do fake flowers, which is perfectly fine. Totally understand. That's okay. Suit, obviously mine would be completely tailored to the T, but then I would want to spend the money for the guys having all of their suits where they could own it, so they could take it and they could use it for whatever. Because it's just, like I said, I'm a big believer that every guy needs a suit for some sort of reason.
Changed Tristan's mind
I
on
know,
this
I think
podcast.
I mean, I didn't know that renting suits was going to be such
A polarizing topic.
task, or just like I guess it's not finding what I would want easier. Obviously, it would be much easier if I could get something that fit me the way I want it to fit.
It's nice for like a quick fix. So like I say, if you need to rent something, and if you give them at least the minimum of 3 weeks, so like let's say some fortunate event, somebody passed away or something, but you need something that's just quick, that looks good, I would say rent a suit then, because, but then even then though, if you want a more of a top of the line, if you have like no coupons or 20% off or anything like that, you're still going to be looking around for the top of the line roughly around like like 287. That was the last time that we were there. That's without the coupon. But that's once again like top of the line for like renting. So, but then at that point, it's kind of one of those, why would you do that if there's also like some suit places like Macy's or JCPenney's or just other places that you could get decent, slim fitting or even good looking suits for the same price and you could own it.
Yeah.
And so then it kind of goes in the line of like, for just literally $100 more, just get a nicer suit of some sort, get it tailored, which actually tailoring is actually really cheap. Depending on like what it is, but like if you're
just getting pants hemmed.
Yeah, if you're like more of a fitted guy or whatever, like if you're doing just quick minor adjustments, the only thing that cost a decent amount of money for tailored is the your pants come unseamed on the bottom. So like because it's weird, but like depending on how you're built, like chest up, they think you obviously are taller or shorter, so the pants are always like super long and you have to tailor it to whatever.
Sure.
And so that's like
actual height you are.
That's the most.
That's
like,
so annoying.
That's
why
the
would
more.
they do that?
I don't know why, but that's the most pricing is just that. But other than that though, like everything else is like a couple centimeters here, a couple inches here, and then like, which are stupid cheap.
Yeah.
So I would say just go that route.
I don't know if they're using centimeters and inches. I think I'm gonna have to look at some of those.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But yeah, no. Anything else with that? I'd probably just put into the decor or find a venue that will be what we actually really would want and look the way we would.
It sounds weird, but like catering for us, because like it's such a big impact for Sarah and I, is the Cheesecake Factory. And like I know that sounds like super cliche, but like it'd be nice to actually getting it in cater, because they do cater weddings, but they only have like specific places, or you just have a lot of places that just do different spots where you just can't do it there.
You can't do it.
You just can't do it at all. And like that would be nice to do it, because like every single time we do have like a special occasion, or like for her, ever since I've known her dinner for her birthday has been there. So like there's a significant towards us for that restaurant. So to be meaningful, we could have it, but of course it's not. So it's like,
could you go rehearsal dinner?
That's what I was saying. We'll just do rehearsal dinner on there if we need to. So like we'll just do that. But like at the same time though, it's just.
But you like it for.
Yeah, we like it for that. You know, there's great food places or great stuff on the menu and stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty much I thought it'd be kind of cool just to kind of hear what your guys' thoughts were with that. Which honestly, like, regardless, you're able to get what you want at any location if you know what you're doing. So,
if I wanted to name drop another location that I would like to have it very early in my wedding filming career, I was at the Jewel Box, and I remember just being so blown away because it was just like right in June, the flowers in there were just perfectly blooming, and everything. It was just
Like a tropical paradise in there. It
for
really is so neat. I was thinking that too, and then that's when botanical gardens came in my mind, and I was
why not
like,
just take it up a notch.
well, my perfect spot was Windows on Washington until I shot there like 50,000 times there, and then I was like, I can't go here ever again. And so, but like, I love that type of like, you know, exposed brick windows just all over the place. Like,
what's that place that's like 612th Street or something that's like next to the Arch Grounds that has like a second or third story corner of the building that has like the L of the room is all glass and all windows, and it looks out towards the river and towards
Four Seasons.
Arch. Is it the Four Seasons?
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure that's a hotel.
No, that's
no. It was like a
is there Mad Art?
no. I'm pretty sure it's like 612th Street or something.
Oh, 612 Events.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
oh,
literally called
that's right.
612
That's
Events.
right. I forgot.
That's hilarious.
I mean, they're really smart. They have neon locus, Windows on Washington. I'm trying to think of other ones.
Isn't McPherson similar to that?
Yeah, McPherson is on McPherson Road.
I got a wedding there this weekend.
But like I said, guys, thank you so much for listening. We'll be back next week. Other than that, though, thank you so much for listening, and I hope you guys have a great day.